All right, so we're diving into something pretty special today.
Oh, yeah.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you might know him as OEL, is on the verge of hitting 1,000 NHL games.
Wow.
You sent over some great articles, and they paint a fascinating picture of his career way beyond just the stats.
Yeah, I think what's striking is how much his career kind of mirrors the changes in the league itself.
Oh, interesting.
He started out as this offensive-minded defenseman, when the NHL was slower, but now he's hitting this milestone in a much faster, more skill-driven league.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes you think, how has he adapted? What's kept him relevant? Those are the questions I find really interesting.
Yeah, and his journey is anything but straightforward.
Oh.
Multiple teams, different systems, even a Stanley Cup win tucked in there.
Mm.
He even started out as, and I quote, a pencil-thin kid.
That image of the skinny Swedish kid really stuck with me, too.
Really?
It highlights just how physically demanding professional hockey is, especially for defensemen.
Yeah.
To reach 1,000 games, he hasn't just honed his skills. He's transformed his body to endure the grind.
Wow.
That takes immense dedication.
It's interesting you bring up the physical transformation because he was drafted back in 2009 alongside guys like John Tavares and Victor Hedman.
Oh, yeah.
They were all part of this highly touted draft class,
Wow.
but their careers have taken such a different paths.
Yeah, the 2009 draft was a turning point for the league, I think.
Oh, how so?
Well, it ushered in a wave of young talent that redefined what it meant to be a star player.
I see.
Tavares, the flashy scorer. Hedman, the dominant two-way defenseman.
Right.
And then you have Ekman-Larsson, who's carved out a different kind of success.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more under the radar, but no less impressive.
And that success includes contributing to a strong legacy of Swedish defensemen in the NHL.
For sure.
You've got the legends like Nicklas Lidström and Borche Salming, known for their smooth skating and incredible hockey sense.
Yep.
How does Ekman-Larsson fit into that lineage?
Well, there's a distinct style that Swedish defensemen are known for.
Okay.
Poise under pressure, smart puck movement, and an almost instinctive understanding of the game.
I see.
They're not always the flashiest players,
Yeah.
but they're consistently effective.
Right.
Ekman-Larsson definitely embodies that in his own way.
So let's walk through Ekman-Larsson's journey across the teams he's played for because it's quite a list.
Huh?
The Coyotes Canucks, a Stanley Cup win with the Panthers, and now he's landed with the Maple Leafs.
It's almost like a crash course in adapting to different systems and coaches.
Right.
Think about it. Each team has its own playbook, its own culture.
Yeah.
He's had to prove himself over and over again, build new relationships with teammates,
Yeah.
learn new ways to contribute.
And that kind of constant change can't be easy.
No, it can't.
He even had to deal with a buyout from Vancouver,
Oh, right.
which must have been a major setback both professionally and personally.
That buyout was a definite turning point for sure.
Yeah.
It would have been easy for him to become discouraged,
Mm-hmm.
but instead he used it as fuel.
Wow.
His resurgence with the Panthers, culminating in that Stanley Cup win, is a testament to his mental toughness and his refusal to give up.
It really highlights the human side of this game.
It does.
It's not just about stats and wins. It's about overcoming challenges and finding a way to thrive even when things get tough.
Absolutely. And speaking of the human side, there's this fantastic anecdote about Ekman-Larsson dressing up as Harry Potter for a Halloween party with his Coyotes teammates.
I was hoping we'd get to that.
Yeah.
It seems like a lighthearted detail,
Right.
but I think it speaks to something deeper about team dynamics.
It's easy to forget that these guys are more than just athletes.
Yeah.
They're part of a team, a community.
Mm-hmm.
And moments like that, where they can let loose and have some fun together, can be incredibly valuable for building camaraderie and trust.
Right.
And that translates onto the ice.
So we've got this picture of Ekman-Larsson, a player who's physically transformed himself, adapted to numerous teams and systems faced setbacks, but ultimately triumphed, and even found time for a little Harry Potter magic along the way.
And now with the Maple Leafs, he's about to join a very exclusive club.
Yeah.
The 1,000 Game Club.
Wow.
It's a testament to his consistency, his durability, his ability to constantly evolve and stay relevant in a league that never stands still.
1,000 games is more than just a statistic.
Definitely.
It's a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and a deep love for the game. But it also begs the question, what defines a truly successful career in hockey?
Right.
Is it purely about the numbers?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because when you look at a career as multifaceted as Ekman-Larsson's, you realize that success can't be measured by a single metric.
I see.
It's about the impact you have, the growth.
Yeah.
You experience the mark you leave on the game.
Right.
And that's what we're going to explore further as we continue this deep dive.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to hear more about that.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about how success in hockey can't be defined by a single number.
Right.
And I think Ekman-Larsson's time with Vancouver really underscores that point. He signed this massive contract, was expected to be like the cornerstone of their defense, but it just didn't pan out the way many had hoped.
Yeah, that Vancouver chapter is fascinating.
Why is that?
It challenges the traditional narrative of what we consider a successful career.
Okay.
On paper, it looks like a failure.
Yeah.
A buyout, a dip in performance, the weight of those high expectations.
Right.
But I think there's a deeper story there, a story about resilience and finding a way to bounce back.
Yeah, and it's not just about the individual.
Yeah.
Vancouver's system at the time was heavily reliant on defensemen to drive offense.
Oh, okay.
It put a lot of pressure on Ekman-Larsson to perform a certain way, a style that might not have been the best fit for him at that point in his career.
It's a good reminder that even the most talented players are part of a larger ecosystem.
Right.
Coaching styles, team dynamics, even the prevailing trends in the league can influence a player's trajectory. And sometimes it takes a change of scenery to unlock a player's full potential.
And that's exactly what happened with the Panthers.
Oh, tell me about it.
He goes from a high-pressure situation in Vancouver to a team that's built on speed skill and a more balanced offensive attack. And suddenly, he's thriving again, contributing to a Stanley Cup win.
That Stanley Cup run with Florida is crucial to understanding Ekman-Larsson's legacy.
Okay, why is that?
It's the ultimate validation proving that he can still perform at the highest level,
Yeah.
be a key contributor on a championship team.
And it wasn't just about scoring goals either.
No, he was playing smart, responsible defense, using his experience and hockey IQ to shut down opponents.
It's a reminder that sometimes success comes in unexpected forms. It might not always align with individual accolades or statistical milestones, but rather with finding the right fit and contributing to a winning culture.
And that adaptability, that ability to find a way to contribute regardless of the situation, is a hallmark of a truly great player.
Right.
It's what separates the players who have long, successful careers from those who fade away after a few good seasons.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder, what was it about the Panthers' environment that allowed him to flourish?
I've thought about that too.
Was it the coaching style, the team dynamics, or just a combination of factors?
It's likely a bit of everything.
Okay.
From what I've read, Florida's coach at the time, Andrew Brunette, fostered a very positive and supportive atmosphere.
Yeah.
He emphasized player empowerment, encouraging them to play with confidence and creativity.
I see.
That kind of environment can be incredibly liberating for a player who's coming off a tough experience like a buyout.
Yeah, for sure. And it also helps that Florida had a roster full of skilled, offensive-minded players.
Right.
It took some of the pressure off Ekman-Larsson to be the primary puck mover and allowed him to focus on playing a more well-rounded game.
Exactly. He could pick his spots, join the rush when the opportunity arose,
Yeah.
but also focus on using his positioning and experience to shut down opposing forwards.
It was a perfect example of a player finding a system that maximized his strengths and minimized his weaknesses.
I agree.
And that brings us full circle to the Swedish defenseman legacy. We talked about how they're known for their poise, their hockey sense, their ability to make the right play in any situation. Do you think Ekman-Larsson's Stanley Cup experience with Florida solidified his place in that lineage?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Winning a Stanley Cup is the ultimate achievement in hockey.
Right.
It elevates a player's status, no matter what their individual stats might look like.
Yeah.
And in Ekman-Larsson's case, it cemented his legacy as a player who could not only contribute offensively, but also play a shutdown role when needed.
It's interesting to compare him to someone like Victor Hedman,
Oh, yeah.
his draft classmate, who's also been a dominant force on the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Right.
Hedman's known for his size, his physical presence, his booming shot.
Yeah.
Ekman-Larsson, on the other hand, relies more on his positioning, his smarts, his ability to anticipate plays.
It's a great example of how there are multiple paths to success in hockey.
Yeah.
Hedman is the prototypical modern defenseman.
Yeah.
Big, strong, offensively gifted.
Right.
Ekman-Larsson represents a more traditional style. Cerebral, positionally sound, capable of contributing in both ends of the ice.
Right. And yet both have achieved incredible success in their own way.
For sure.
And that brings us back to Ekman-Larsson's current chapter with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
It's a team with high expectations, a passionate fan base, and a lot of offensive firepower. What do you think his role will be on this team?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Toronto has been searching for a reliable veteran defenseman to help solidify their blue line.
Okay.
Someone who can provide stability, leadership, and experience in high-pressure situations.
Right.
I think Ekman-Larsson fits that bill perfectly.
He's not going to be the flashy offensive defenseman he was earlier in his career,
No.
but he can still contribute offensively, make smart passes, and quarterback the power play. But his primary role will likely be to provide that steady defensive presence that Toronto has been lacking.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the value of his experience, especially in a market like Toronto, where the pressure is immense.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's been through it all.
He has.
High expectations, intense scrutiny, the thrill of winning a Stanley Cup, and the disappointment of being bought out.
Wow.
That kind of experience is invaluable for a team that's aiming for a championship.
And it also seems like he's reconnected with Shane Doan.
Oh.
His former captain from Arizona, who's now part of the Leafs front office.
I didn't know that.
That kind of familiarity and mentorship can be incredibly valuable for a player.
Yeah.
Especially one who's had to adapt to so many different environments throughout his career.
That's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
Doan has always been known as a strong leader, someone who commands respect and inspires his teammates.
For sure.
Having him in Toronto could be a huge asset for Ekman-Larsson, providing him with a sense of continuity and support as he navigates this new chapter in his career.
And as we look ahead to his 1,000th game, it's clear that this milestone represents more than just longevity. It's a testament to his ability to adapt, to overcome adversity, and to find a way to contribute no matter what challenges come his way.
And as we've discussed, it's also a reminder that success in hockey and in life isn't always linear.
Right.
There are peaks and valleys, moments of triumph and setbacks. But it's the ability to persevere, to learn from those experiences, and to come out stronger on the other side that defines a truly remarkable journey.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the kind of journey Oliver Ekman-Larsson has been on.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, from Vancouver's system to Florida's Stanley Cup run to the significance of mentorship.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to you, the listener.
Wait.
What's resonating with you most about Ekman-Larsson's story?
Is it the resilience he's shown throughout his career?
Yeah.
The adaptability he's displayed in different systems and with different teams?
Right.
Or maybe it's the realization that success doesn't always follow a straight line.
Whatever it is, I think there's a universal message here that goes beyond the world of hockey. It's a message about perseverance, about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
And about finding your own unique path to success.
For sure.
And now, as we head into the final part of our deep dive, let's explore what this milestone truly means for Ekman-Larsson.
Okay.
And what his legacy will be in the grand tapestry of NHL history.
You know, as we head into this final stretch of our deep dives, I keep coming back to this idea of legacy.
Legacy, yeah.
What will people remember about Oliver Ekman-Larsson's career, 10, 20 years from now?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It is.
I mean, we often define legacy through championships or individual awards.
Right.
But I think there's something more nuanced at play here.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the era he played in.
Exactly. Ekman-Larsson kind of bridged that gap between the old school defense-first style of hockey and the modern fast-paced game.
Right.
Where defensemen are expected to be these offensive threats.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just along for the ride. He actively adapted his game to stay relevant.
Yeah.
That adaptability, I think, is a huge part of his legacy.
And it wasn't always pretty.
No.
I mean, he went through some tough stretches, especially during his time in Vancouver. But he never gave up.
Yeah.
He never lost that drive to compete and improve.
That resilience, that willingness to grind it out, even when things weren't going his way, that's what resonates with me.
Yeah.
He could have easily become complacent after achieving early success in Arizona.
Right.
But he always pushed himself to be better, to find new ways to contribute.
And let's not forget that Stanley Cup win with Florida.
Right.
I mean, it might not have been like the defining moment of his career.
No.
But it certainly solidified his place among the elite defensemen of his generation.
That championship was a culmination of everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
The talent, the adaptability, the resilience, the willingness to embrace different roles.
Right.
It proved that he could win at the highest level no matter the system or the expectations.
So as he prepares to skate in his 1,000th game wearing a Maple Leafs jersey, what kind of impact do you think he'll have on this team?
I think his presence will be felt both on and off the ice.
Okay.
He brings a wealth of experience to a team that's still searching for that elusive championship.
Yeah.
He's been through the playoff battles, he knows what it takes to win, and he can impart that wisdom to the younger players.
Yeah, and from a purely hockey perspective,
Right.
he provides stability and defensive responsibility to a team that's known for its offensive firepower.
Exactly.
He might not light up the scoreboard every night,
No.
but he'll make the smart plays, shut down opposing forwards, and help create that balance that championship teams need.
His arrival in Toronto almost feels like a full circle moment.
Oh, how so?
Well, he started his career with Shane Doan as his captain in Arizona.
Right.
And now they're reunited in Toronto with Doan playing a key role in the front office.
Wow, yeah.
That kind of mentorship and guidance can be invaluable, especially for a veteran player entering a new environment.
And it's a testament to the relationships he's built throughout his career. The respect he's earned from teammates and opponents alike.
Right.
And that, to me, speaks volumes about his character.
Absolutely. And it goes back to that question of legacy.
Okay.
Beyond the stats, beyond the trophies, it's the impact you have on others that truly matters.
Right.
And I think Oliver Ekman-Larsson, through his work ethic, his resilience, and his leadership, has left an indelible mark on the game of hockey.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you, the listener, with one final thought.
Okay.
What does success look like to you? Is it purely about accolades and achievements?
Yeah.
Or is it about something more profound, something that transcends the numbers on a stat sheet?
Oliver Ekman-Larsson's journey reminds us that success is a multifaceted concept.
Right.
It's about growth, adaptability, resilience, and the pursuit of excellence, even when faced with adversity.
Yeah.
It's about finding your place, making a contribution, and leaving the game better than you found it.
And sometimes it's about dressing up as Harry Potter and sharing a laugh with your teammates. Because at the end of the day, it's the human connections, the shared experiences that make this game so special.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the remarkable career of Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing yourself to be the best version of you.